Good morning. Today we are going to start with chapter 8. Okay, chapter 8 deals with indemnity and guarantee. The sections are section 124 to section 147. Okay, only two sections deal with indemnity and the other sections deal with guarantee. Okay, section 124 and 125 deal with the contract of indemnity. From chapter 8 we see that the further sections deal with special type of contract. Okay, till section 75 what we have seen general principles of contract, and from now we are going to see different kinds of contract which are called as a special contract, like indemnity, guarantee, bailment, pledge, agency and all. Okay, so today we are going to start with indemnity, which has been defined in section 124. First we'll see section 24, which is the definition of indemnity. Okay, a contract by which one promises to save the other from loss caused to him by the conduct of the promisor himself or by the conduct of any other person is called as contract of indemnity. We'll divide this section. A contract by which one party promises to save the other means one party is going to promise to save the other party from loss caused to him by the conduct of the promisor himself or by the conduct of any other person. Means only these two essentials are there. One, the party promises the other that if there is any loss, then I will repay. I will make good the loss. Okay, means I will be liable for that. Means he is promising to save the other from the loss. Second is what? The loss is caused by his own conduct, that is promisor's conduct, or by certain conduct of any other person. See, section 124 is not exhaustive of Indian Contract Act. It is dealing with two types of contract only. First is what? It is an express promise, means a contract by which one party promises to save, means it deals with express promises to indemnify. And second is what? It deals only with the cases where the loss is caused by the conduct of the promisor himself or conduct of some other person. Means only these two aspects are there in this definition. So Indian Contract Act is not exhaustive like English contract. It deals with only express promise to make good the loss and save the person from loss. And the second is what? The loss is caused by his own conduct, that is promisor's conduct or some other person's conduct. Means as per English law, the express promise to indemnify is just not there in indemnity. Implied contract is also there, and moreover any loss which occurs from the transaction, the person will be liable. Any loss means the loss may occur from accidents or anything. Here in Indian law, what it is dealt? It is dealt that loss which is caused by the conduct of promisor himself or by any other person. Okay. So definition wise, if you see the definition, the concept of indemnity is not exhaustive. But in India, the Indian courts don't follow the strictly section 124. We go by the principles of equity. Therefore, we follow the principles which are mentioned in English law. See, here it is clearly mentioned. In India, it has been held from section 124 and 125 of the Contract Act are not exhaustive of the law of indemnity, and the courts here would apply the same principles, equity principles, that the courts of England will do. In England, so we have to see here in England what it is there about indemnity. In English law, a contract of indemnity has been defined as a promise to save another harmless from loss caused as a result of transaction entered into at the instance of the promisor. Means when the promisor says, okay, from this transaction if something occurs, I will be liable. Means from that transaction, it may be express contract, it may be implied contract, that transaction may create a loss not by the conduct of promisor himself or some other party, but it can be by accident also. It can be by certain events also, depending upon the conduct of promisor or not. So it is, the scope of indemnity is large in England. In India, as per section 124, it is very short. Okay, the scope is narrow, but the courts and we Indians don't follow that narrow principle. We go by equity and we increase the scope, and the person who gives an indemnity bond, a person who gives an indemnity, he will be liable for the loss caused not only by the promisor's conduct, third party's conduct, but by anything in the transaction. If loss occurs, the person will be liable. Okay, so it has been clearly mentioned here now. A contract of indemnity may be express or it may be implied also. An implied contract of indemnity may be inferred from the circumstances of the case or from the relationship of the parties. The person, the promisor, the person who gives the assurance is called as indemnifier. Okay, means I am telling you that I promise to pay you, I promise to save you from the loss. So I am the promisor, means I am called as an indemnifier, and you will be called as an indemnity holder or indemnified. So you are having certain rights. Okay, because I am promising you to save you from the loss. So if loss occurs, then I have to make good the loss. Okay, now these rights of indemnity holder are mentioned in section 125. Okay, the promisee in a contract of indemnity acting within the scope of his authority is entitled to recover from the promisor 3 points I mentioned, means 3 kind of damages you can say the indemnity holder can acquire. Okay, first is what? All damages which he may be compelled to pay in any suit in respect of any matter in which the promise of indemnity applies. Okay, so all damages he can take, all compensation you can ask. Second is all cost which he may be compelled to pay in such a suit if in bringing or defending it he did not contravene the orders of the promisor and acted as it would have been prudent for him to act in the absence of any contract of indemnity, or if the promisor authorized him to bring or defend the suit, so he can get all the cost of the suit if he had filed a case. Okay, and the third is what? All amount, all sums which he may have paid under the terms of any compromise in that suit. The suit which was filed against him, in that if a compromise takes place and he faces some loss in that compromise, then he can ask for all the amount which he has paid from the indemnifier. Okay, now this is section 125. 124, 125 section deal with the contract of indemnity. Contract of indemnity, if you see the definition, we can say that it is a contingent contract. It is a type of a contingent contract because I am promising you that if loss occurs to you in this transaction, then I will repay, I will pay, I will make good the loss. Means if loss occurs. And what is contingent contract? Contingent contract is the same thing, happening or non-happening of an event. If something happens, then I will perform the contract, isn't it? So contract of indemnity actually is a type of a contingent contract only. Okay, contract of insurance, it is also a like a contingent contract. It is of a contingent nature. If it is a fire insurance, what they say? They say that if fire occurs, if the goods are lost, then the insurance company is going to pay. It is going to make good the loss. Okay, now this is a contract of indemnity. In indemnity, 2 parties are there. One is the person who promises to make good the loss, who is called as indemnifier, and the other person is called as an indemnity holder. So 2 parties are there, and one promise is there that if loss occurs, then I will make good the loss. Okay, so it is stated like, if you are damnified, then I will indemnify. Means if loss occurs, then I will repay. If loss does not occur, then if nothing happens, if nothing wrong, you are not at loss, then I will not repay, because I have given you an indemnity to make good the loss. I will save you from the loss. Means if loss occurs, I will allow that you don't face any kind of loss. If loss occurs from this transaction, then I am going to repay. And that transaction may be depending upon my conduct, other party's conduct, and as we follow equity principle, the scope is increased. Okay? Bye bye. See you in the next video.